I don't know about you guys, but armed dragons have been losing a lot of games for me to Infinite Impermanence, Hraesvelgr, and Nibiru. People know about the deck now. They know we're trying to turbo out Galaxy Tomahawk, and they just sit there and wait until you summon it to use all their hand traps. Luckily, there is a very easy solution to this, and honestly, it's a lifesaver, and I can't believe I didn't try it sooner. Crossout Designator. This just negates any card as long as you have it in the deck, and it's a quick play spell so you can respond to everything. I'm sure we all know what this card does by now, but you know, just in case if there's any new players here, I want to explain it. So this is essentially 3 more copies of better Called by the Grave, but if we're running Crossout Designator, we need to make room for a bunch of hand traps. So we're playing 2 Hraesvelgr, 2 Imperm. It's basically like having 4 Imperm, so I like the 2 ratio of each. And it also makes sure that we have 1 in the deck because we need 1 in the deck to resolve Crossout Designator. We can't use it from the hand. I maxed out on Maxx because, I mean, duh, it's the best hand trap in the game. And I also maxed out on Ash because it can negate Maxx, so it's basically like 3 mini called bys. We're only playing 1 Nibiru because I'm confident enough that I'm not going to draw it, and it's honestly one of the weaker hand traps, loses to a lot of different decks. But it's something nice to have in your deck to draw off Maxx so your opponent doesn't go unpunished if they take the Maxx challenge. Now, I didn't just make the deck more durable, I made it a lot more consistent and a lot more friendly towards your hand size because, let's be honest, Armed Dragons just love to discard, and that's one of their biggest problems at the moment. So I bumped up Armed Dragon Lightning from 1 to 2, so you can easily Prosperity for it, or you can just hard draw it sometimes. I would love to play this at 3, but I just don't have the room for it. I took out 2 copies of Armed Dragon Flash just to make room for like the Prosperity and stuff, because I feel like with the Prosperities, you really don't need Armed Dragon Flash. In fact, Armed Dragon Flash hurts the consistency, if anything. I've had so many times where Prosperity makes it so I can't draw with Armed Dragon level 3, and then I have a Flash in the hand and I can't make a pile Armed Dragon, or I have a pile Armed Dragon and too many spells in the hand. So just having all these monsters with the hand traps, having the Prosperities to dig for what we need, it feels a lot better than having 3 Armed Dragon Flash. But I still play this single one because you can use it to make a better end board, and it can also help you play through interruptions. It's searchable off Thunder level 7. So I still think it's worth the 1 of in this game, but I really don't think you need to be using it as a starter anymore. The rest of the deck is almost exactly the same as my last profile. You got the 3 Thunder level 3s, 5s, and 7s for maximum discard fodder, and 3 also duos as a starter because you can level up into your pile Armed Dragon. We have Catapult Turtle to turbo out a pile Armed Dragon because he can summon Thunder level 5 from the deck. We have 3 Pile himself. He is a starter because you can special summon him from your hand by sending a monster from your hand to grave, specifically a Wind Dragon monster. And then you have the 1 Tempest to make sure that you can turbo out a rank 7 cough cough Galaxy Tomahawk. The only thing that really changed with this deck is that I got rid of the Thunder level 10, and the only reason I was running him in the first place was because he's so easy to summon off Return of the Dragon Lords. Now that we don't have Return of the Dragon Lords, it's just impossible to make use of him because he's only good turn 1, and I can't really make him plus a Tomahawk. Very rarely is that able to happen without Return of the Dragon Lords, so instead I opted to play more of like a going second or grind game Armed Dragon. I'm playing the Armed Dragon level 10. The Armed Dragon level 10 is amazing in a simplified game state, or if you're locked out of certain summoning mechanics. It's just good to have this main deck boss monster that you just summon by tributing a level 7, and then you just nuke the field. It's a good board breaker, it's good for certain situations, and worst case scenario, you're pitching it for pile, or you're using it to boost pile's attack and cheese lethal on a Verde Anaconda. You can also play Armed Dragon level 10 white, but personally I'm not a fan of him because pile likes to send 5 and 7 turn 1 rather than 7 and 3, or 2 5s. So a lot of the times I'm just not able to summon level 10 white. And even though he's pretty cool that he can search for White Veil to counter skill drain, I'm always getting popped by something and taking a ton of burn damage when I do that because I have to attack and destroy a monster to wipe the field. So I'm just really not a fan of level 10 white. I'm definitely more of a fan of the original level 10, but you can play whatever your preference is. I just strongly don't recommend Thunder level 10. The extra deck is literally a copy and paste of my last video. It's just double Tomahawk. You never know when you need the second one. Double Link Spider to go into Doublebyte Dragon, who's like a mini towers. Proxy Dragon to protect your cards from being destroyed. You have a toolbox of all the nightmares. You have IP Masquerena to link summon during your opponent's turn. Union Carrier to equip the Buster Lock. By the way, that's kind of our win condition. I don't know how I failed to mention that so far. This just locks your opponent out of the extra deck when it's equipped to one of your monsters. So you're going to either equip it to an Armed Dragon with Armed Dragon Lightning to protect it, or you're going to equip it to a Doublebyte Dragon. You have the Desperate Doom Eagle to counter DPE. You have the Avramax to make another towers, because this deck loves making towers for some reason. Apollousa for negates, and Accesscode just to destroy things. Anyways, this deck list will be in the description below. Let's get into a couple of replays. Okay, we're going second. We got a Nibiru, we got a Crossout pile. Our hand's looking okay for going second. We're playing against Sword Soul, the most popular deck at the moment. They're going to start off with an early Baronne de Fleur, and they're gonna burn us for 1200. Summon the Taya, banish their graveyard, make a token. I'm gonna Nibiru just to get the negate out of the way. It's like a once per duel negate essentially. They'd have to like resummon Baronne to get back the negate, so I'm just glad to get that negate out of the way. They're gonna go into their Grandmaster, who's going to search them for a card. They're gonna chain block with Taya, and their Grandmaster is gonna grab them the, what is that card called? The Sacred Sword Soul Summit. They're gonna Monster Reborn back the Moye. Moye is gonna activate to reveal the Summit, and then summon a token. Then they get to go into their Adamantipator Risen Dragite, which is a spell trap negate. Luckily, our deck is not very reliant on spells and traps. So of course we have them, but like we don't really need to use them. There's no Baronne negate. We only have to worry about the Grandmaster negate. And I'm just gonna summon Pile Armed Dragon, and then that's gonna trigger the Thunder level 3 to draw a card. That baits out the Ash, which is pretty awesome. They could have definitely used Ash a bit smarter. So our level 3 is going to get negated, no problem. We're going to activate Pile's effect to send 5 from deck to grave, targeting itself. They're going to negate with the Grandmaster, and I'm like, oh my god, you just sealed your fate. Which, you know, I understand they don't want me swinging over their big negates, but that is possibly the worst move you can make against Armed Dragons, because I get to send 5 to grave for cost, and I get to special summon Tempest off of that. That means we have 2 level 7s. We can go into our Galaxy Tomahawk. And now we're going to break the board and establish our own. So we're going to summon the 5 tokens. Then we're going to link summon into an IP Masquerena. This makes our monsters indestructible if we use her as link material. 1 Link Spider, 1 Knightmare Phoenix, fill the graveyard with different attributes. And then go into the boy himself, Accesscode Talker. Literally a retrained Dark Armed Dragon, changed my mind. I'm going to banish the, or I'm going to activate its effect, target the Phoenix, gain attack, banish IP, get rid of that spell trap negate. Going to banish Link Spider, get rid of Baronne, battle, attack over the Grandmaster, and then with the 2 tokens, we can make the Union Carrier. And this is all off 1 Pile Armed Dragon, by the way. This is why I highly recommend the Buster Lock over anything else, because you can do all this with a single card. And then we're going to set down the Crossout Designator, which, by the way, the entire time we were protected from hand traps because of Crossout Designator. Granted, they did have the Adamantipator Dragite negate, but we could have possibly baited it out with Armed Dragon Flash. So just keep in mind we did have some sort of hand trap protection, which is nice. What's cool, though, is if you don't use the hand trap protection, you can always just use your Crossout Designator like I do right here. And I'm just going to chain onto the Prosperity and banish my own Prosperity. So their Prosperity gets negated. They don't get the Excavate. And I think they're just going to... Oh, no, they're not scooping it up just yet. They're going to bring back their Moye. And then they're going to activate her effect to reveal the Tenyi Spirit, make a token, and then they quit. I love how many Maxx C negates we run in this deck, because I just never get hit by this hand trap anymore. Just going to Ash Blossom that Maxx C out of the way. We have, what, 8 copies of Called By just for Maxx C, with the Crossout Designators, the Called Bys, the Ash Blossoms. We're going to summon out the Armed Dragon Thunder level 5, go on the Armed Dragon Thunder level 7. That's going to trigger the Thunder level 7 in the graveyard to grab an Armed Dragon Flash. Surprisingly, an important piece of the combo, believe it or not. Then we're going to send 5 from deck to graveyard, boosting Pile's attack, searching for Tempest. Then we're going to activate Tempest effect to banish those 2 dragons we sent to the grave. And we have 2 level 7, so we can go into Galaxy Tomahawk. Galaxy Tomahawk's going to activate its effect. We're going to get a whole bunch of tokens onto the field. Then we're going to link summon into IP Masquerena. Link summon into Union Carrier. Link into 2 Link Spiders because we're going to make our real boss monster, the Doublebyte Dragon, the random Link monster I found scrolling through a bunch of Link 2s. Thing is insane. We're gonna equip the Union Carrier, the Buster Lock with the Union Carrier onto the Doublebyte Dragon. We set the Armed Dragon Flash and we set Infinite Impermanence. So what does this do for us? Well, they're playing Sword Soul first of all, but if they had a Feather Duster here, what we could do is activate IP Masquerena and then activate Armed Dragon Flash. So Flash would summon level 3, Masquerena would summon a Proxy Dragon right in between the Union Carrier and Doublebyte, and then Proxy Dragon's effect would activate, even though it's not really an activated effect, but it would destroy the Union Carrier instead of my back row getting wiped. So that's one big reason why the Armed Dragon Flash is so important, especially since we aren't running Return of the Dragon Lords anymore. So they're going to Pot of Desires, they're going to summon their Ecclesia, they're going to summon their Taya. I'm just going to link it to Accesscode because they have no outs to any of my board. I'm just going to wipe them out next turn, and they're just going to quit. This duel was mad goofy, but I wanted to show it to you anyways just because it shows an alternative way to make your turn 1 end board. I'm going to normal Catapult Turtle, got the level 5. Notice how I have the Called By and the Ash protecting me from potentially 2 different hand traps. This is why I love running 2 Called By, 3 Ash, 3 Crossout Designator. I'm literally just never going to get hand traps. We're going to discard the 3 to draw a card. We drew into a Pile on Dragon, that's huge. And then we're going to send 5 from deck to graveyard to search for Tempest. Now obviously you don't need to just draw into it level 3. If you can pitch a level 7, you can search for the Pile Armed Dragon, add it to your hand, and then you can add the Tempest just like I did here. And this way you still have a Pile Armed Dragon on board when you go into Galaxy Tomahawk, and that can get you access into your Proxy Dragon, which is actually huge. So we're going to link into the IP Masquerena as normal. We're going to go into the Union Carrier as normal, but this time we're equipping the Buster Lock to the Pile Armed Dragon. That's going to lock our opponent out of the extra deck. That's why I didn't call by the Numeron wall, by the way. And then I'm going to summon that Link Spider, which essentially accomplishes the same exact thing as Armed Dragon Flash. But we get Kaiju, so it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to show that end board. But somehow we still win this because Numeron players are an interesting creature, a breed of player. We're going to go into Avramax, and they did not read the Avramax, so they're going to swing into it not just once, but they're going to swing into it twice. Then they're going to go into their boss monster or whatever it is, and he's just going to wipe our entire field, which is, you know, not a bad play. But he's only got 2,000 life points, and I got a 2,400 beater lurking in the graveyard. He sets 1 and passes. We're going to draw for turn the Catapult Turtle. That is so unfortunate for him. We're just going to go into a level 5. Special summon the Tempest, and yeah, that's pretty much gonna call it. It's gonna be game. But what he flips up is so funny. It's a freaking Grand Maju, but he still doesn't have enough defense to get past my level 5. He's gonna activate this card, which like negates the battle phase or something, and I'm just gonna go ahead and call by it because I have all the hand trap negation in the world, even for the obscure one. So we're gonna swing for lethal here. So I know what you're thinking. There's got to be a catch, right? Like, there's got to be something wrong with this deck that I'm not talking about, and you're kind of right. Right now, this deck I think is like absolutely perfect and super competitive, but when we get the adventure token cards, it's looking a little rough for Armed Dragons. The adventure token engine has an equip spell that they can search that just bounces cards back, and that is a really good counter against the Buster Lock, especially since no extra deck monsters are required for that play. And if we're playing Crossout, we're not getting out Thunder level 10, so we can't just like pop that equip spell. And even if we could, they would probably have like Droplet. I swear every time I play this game, they always open Droplet, so that's not looking too great. That matchup against the Adventure Token archetype, which is literally going to be in every single deck. We also have Floowandereeze, who doesn't care about Buster Lock, so you might need to consider a brickier win condition like DPE or Infinite Negates, something like that. And on top of that, we take serious collateral damage because I guarantee you once Adventure Token is out, between that and Sword Soul, people are going to literally be playing Token Collector and and that absolutely claps Galaxy Tomahawk. So it's looking real rough for us, but I do have some hopium. I think that maybe, just maybe, we'll get Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon Overlord soon. That's a really good going second card for Armed Dragons. It turns them into a going second OTK deck. It can attack 3 times. You can boost its attack with Pile. It's absolutely insane. I've been playing it and absolutely destroying everyone with it in the TCG. So if we could get that into Master Duel, maybe that is an option for us. So that way we don't take the collateral damage from the tokens. We don't have to worry about our turn 1 board getting destroyed by a single equip spell. That is the dream. But for right now, this is the absolute best Armed Dragon deck in Master Duel, and this is going to be the best deck again when the adventure token stuff inevitably gets hit, even if that's like a year or 2 down the line. We'll just go back to this list, and that's kind of the main reason why I'm even uploading this. Anyways, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It helps the channel out a lot, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.